Hello, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Sorry. Why is my phone? Come on now. Why is everything acting up today? It's not like I ain't got enough stuff going on. Hey, folks, AJ, the CEO here. Sorry for my tone. Look, I just try and be transparent. I ain't trying to be super happy all the time when life be life and that stuff be frustrating. But anyway, folks, we are here as best as we possibly can. And why is I'm looking at my feed to make sure I'm not off. But anyway, folks, I hope y'all are all doing well. We try to come here every Friday when there's not some nonsense and tomfoolery going on. We're trying to answer your media ministry questions. Folks, I don't know everything, but I hope the little bit I do know helps you in some way, shape, or form. But we are here. Again, my stuff is kind of off. I'm off, honestly, to be quite honest, right now. I am. Anyway, that's my own issue. Don't really matter. But anyway, folks, I am going to kind of rush through a lot of this stuff because I want to get just to y'all's questions. Because like I said, my mind is somewhere else right now, and this is a pleasant distraction from all the foolishness that's going on. But folks, just know I need to reschedule it. Y'all know I don't do sports, So our roundtable is going to be rescheduled from this Sunday. Um, so I'll put that on the Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, folks, go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions, and you are in like Flynn to where we can try and have a community of folks to where we can work together and get your questions answered and all that other fun stuff. Mike, if you have no idea. If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to, I almost should say 92 hours. It's just kind of hard to juggle everything. But give me 48 to 72 hours to respond back to you. If me and you go back and forth a couple of times, or if you try to randomly just call me out of the blue as if I'm not doing anything, highly recommend that you set up a consultation. And I'm trying to make light of a lot of stuff, folks. I mean, honestly, if Mike kind of picked it, I'm frustrated. That's to be quite honest. But my frustration really doesn't matter. Still got some stuff to do to help y'all out. That's what we try to do. We just press through the whole situation. But in spite of that, if me and you go back and forth, highly recommend that you set up a consultation with me. That way you have dedicated time for me to sit down, answer your questions, and be focused directly on you and whatever I can do to help you out. Let me see. Let me holler at the good folks. And I mean, like, I don't understand why people use AI just to tick people off. Like, y'all can't see it, but for whatever reason, it's a whole bunch of AI bot comments that are just getting pushed through that y'all can't see, but it's flooding my side, and it's getting on my nerves. Whatever. Darius, good morning to you, sir. You're traveling. Safe travels to you. Again, Mike, good morning to you. Hope you're staying warm. Pastor Rob, hello, hello. Parker, hello. Mr. Clarence, how are you doing? Oh. Monty, what is going on with you? Tara, hello, hello. Hollis, hello. Let me see. Mom's video. What is going on? Anthony, who is my guest on the first One Question podcast that we're trying to do. Hello, hello, sir. Caribbean Christian Broadcasting, good morning. Brian Jones, hello, hello. Rod, hello, hello. I'm hesitant about, let me just put it this way before we get started. A lot of y'all are obviously in media ministry. I'm trying to weigh my words properly. I just want y'all to know, if no one has ever told you, that you are more than your media ministry knowledge. You're not just a tool to be called when somebody needs something. You are worth having people call and check on you and to see how you're doing without a prerequisite of asking you to make a video, move a camera, play an instrument, update a website, do a live stream. You're more than that. So if no one's ever told you, I always say this at the end, and I really mean it. I appreciate y'all for who y'all are, not just because of the skills that you have. You are more than just a convenient tool to be reached for and asked to do something only when need to be filled. So I'll leave it as that. Mike, I mean, again, I don't want this to be no blame session, but I'll just let you know, like, I've been in this house for like five 5 months now, and found out that they hooked up the hot water wrong. It's so much other stuff going on. I got people want me to. Can I be candid? I got churches that want me to help them do stuff, but then don't want to pay for it. And then, I mean, it's hard when this is the only thing that you do. And then you already are giving everything that you know to give, but then people just still want even more. I mean, that's I again, I'm not saying this just to let everybody know that, ooh, AJ's doom and gloom and all this and telling AJ's drama. No, I'm saying this because I know that there's nothing new for me, and I'm sure a bunch of y'all, and I know some of y'all are dealing with the same thing. So I don't want you to think that, oh, AJ's just arrived and he doesn't have to deal with this stupidness. No, I do. And that's why the community was built, not just to answer questions about media ministry, but to give encouragement to each other with what's going on, you know. Jay Davis, good morning to you. Scott, good morning. Philip Paul, hello, hello. Now I'll get back to the questions here in a second. So I got some little projects that I am working on. I actually tried to record this stuff. Well, hold on. Let me get all the rest of the stuff out the way before I jump ahead. Folks, I haven't seen any other email in a while, but let me use this platform to give your media team kudos. Send me a picture of your media team. Let me know what your ministry's name is so I can shout them out to the heavens and give them their kudos, give them their flowers, show them some little bit of appreciation for all the stuff they do. Let me use this platform for that. Just send me an email at questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. You don't have to give me everybody's name or anything like that. Just want to be able to just lift up the groups that we have. And like, here's some flashbacks of some folks that we had. Oregon City Bible Chapel. We also got Fresh Start Church and Philadelphia. And then we also have the most recent Union Grove Baptist Church. Let me shout y'all out. Really appreciate all the work that y'all are doing. All the hard, all the long hours, the money that you're putting in. Just thank you for what you're doing. Also, we are working on the live streams reviews, so you can go ahead and continue to send those in. Excited about being able to get around to that. And more information is coming on the Forum E conference for this year. It has been moved to completely virtual. It's going to be in October. Once some stuff slows down, we'll be able to put some more information out there. Now, what I was saying is I had been working on a video, and it annoyed me that I was working on it and then stuff just did not want to work for whatever reason. But we're doing a video showing with the prices, excuse me, the prices of computer parts and all this other stuff, how to work around that, how to make some concessions, how to get away from paying for different multi-streaming services and things like that. So what I am working on right now is repurposing some old systems right now. This system right now is a Linux Mint system that was put together from some leftover parts. We got OBS here. I'm just installing some drivers and all this other stuff to get the rest of everything in place. But especially with all the AI stuff that's been pushed into Windows and all this other stuff, I wanted to give another option for that. So I have another system that's directly behind me that's installing the same thing. This was Pastor Sale's old computer that had a whole bunch of viruses and stuff like that I think somebody put on their OneDrive, and it just corrupted a whole bunch of computers. So I'm cleaning that out, and then Pastor Paul uses a Mac, so he didn't even want that. So I'm cleaning this out and want to see if it's possible to put Linux Mint on that for the secretary, or the administrative assistant, or use that for initially going to use it to put OBS and see about streaming and all that other stuff and do some tests. So that's what's going on with that. That's a project trying to get done if it would install this system. I've been trying to install Linux on it for it's some rootkits or something in there that's just messed up the motherboard. It just amazes me. I mean, again, I understand viruses and malware and all this other stuff is getting more sophisticated, but just sometimes I'm just wondering how in the world do people click on some of the stuff that they do and get their system so contaminated? Excuse me. Let me see. Let me see. Where did I leave off at? Kenneth, hey, good morning and thank you. Dennis, good morning to you. Yeah, I thought I had this one on my fourth wall one. This is kind of like I don't want to say it's a dry fit. It feels like it, but we'll see. I thought it was on the fourth wall. If not, whenever I can find some other time, I'm going to have to sit down and work back through that again. Pastor Rob, folks have to realize that everything isn't free except air. People don't realize that. Really don't. Same stuff, different day. Pay a person fairly. We live in a world. I mean, hey, people don't understand that. But anyway, folks, let's get to y'all's questions. Started off with a cue so way it's easy for me to notice where it is and call it out and see it. And let's get started. I think the first one I see right here is Caribbean Christian Broadcasting. Don't know if you can help. My vMix stream keeps breaking. It is set to 1080p, 2997 stream quality, H.264 720p, 2.5 megabits per second. My upload speed is 89.21. What should I set my stream to? Well, first off, I need a little bit more detail. What's the specs of your system? If it's breaking, we need to see. It might be breaking because of the CPU and the processing speed of before it's sending, because if that's your upload speed, that wouldn't be the issue. And give me an example of what you're talking about breaking. Is it breaking as in just the speed just drops? Because that's kind of like the same thing that was happening in Elgin when they were working at the museum. The museum internet is tied to the state police. So some super genius IT guy at the state police blocked the streaming in any way, shape, or form. So it was cutting out. So we had to go around it. So is it breaking as in data going to wherever you're streaming is dropping, or is it cutting out in vMix itself? Because then we need to isolate, is the problem on the computer? Is it on the tunnel that is being used to send it up, or is it the platform you're going to? So give me a little bit more information about that. And I think Pastor Rob, the other thing I'll tell you is, man, they just did so much stuff here at this house that is infuriating to me that I'm dealing with. So like they had messed up I think I told you about that, how they didn't set up my HVAC right. That's why it's like blazing hot up here. And it was super cold downstairs. They had the hot water hooked up wrong. Some of my floorboards are cracked that they were putting in places that you normally wouldn't see. I mean, I'm thankful, but it's annoying. All right, let me follow up. You said the stream drops. Where are you streaming to? And also, what are the specs of the system that you're running vMix on? Good morning, Pastor Woods. Why is this not popping up? Why is that so slow? Oh well. Rod has a question here. So with that piece you opened with, how do we get our leaders to let the media ministry handle the media stuff without them getting in the middle of it? Do you want the politically correct question, or do you want the raw answer that I feel is right, but I know it has some emotion into it. I'll just give you both. If leaders have to micromanage everything and they have to have their hands on everything, my definition of that is they are a poor leader. Because if you selected the people, but then you still need to keep your hands on it, you're a horrible leader. You're untrustworthy of the people around you. You don't understand delegation, and inherently you're going to end up being by yourself because no one's going to stay around stuff like that. Again, we talk about it a lot that a toe makes a bad heart. Everybody just thinks just because God has blessed you to be a certain title does not mean that he gave you all knowledge for everything. Because if that was the case, then none of us are needed. If he gave one person the ability to do everything, then what's the point of everybody else being there? Now, the nasty way I would say that is if you want to get in the middle of it and you got it, I take my hands off it. You got it. I'm not doing nothing. You do it. I had to do that with one church that insisted that, oh, AJ don't know nothing. And then I let my hands off of it and that stuff collapsed. And I'm like, nah, you think that what I'm doing is not serious. I had other people in my past that were sitting back saying, oh, and it was almost kind of like a passive aggressive type of crap. Oh, AJ knows how to live stream. Well, I don't think that much of AJ, so it must not be difficult. And then I'm like, okay, slight jab to me. Go ahead and try and do it. Then since it's so easy, because I'm a simpleton, I'm stupid, whatever, you think I'm not intelligent. Okay, that's fine. You got it. And they struggled. And I'm like, and then I don't come to their rescue. Since you said you got it, you got it. Don't call me for help. Don't do nothing. Now, that's the petty part of me. And, and then I can't be petty for very long. For whatever reason, God gets after me very, very quick if I try to be petty. But seems like he's real slow to get when people are like that way to me. I don't understand that yet. Somebody is sending something and your questions are not coming in. I don't know how in the world you're bypassing. You're completely bypassing YouTube and you're sending messages directly to me. I have no idea how in the world you're doing that. And that's the reason why I'm not going to respond. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have no idea how your messages are coming through. Because I'm seeing them in vMix Social, but they're not showing up on YouTube. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to respond to those. It's just been so much stuff that's been going on with YouTube in the back end, and I'll talk about that as well too in a little bit. Frugal Streamer, come on now, there he goes. We've been blessed with getting some decent gear to build a broadcast and have built around using NDI for most things, but we're lacking our networking. Any recommendations? Well, need some more details on what you're talking about. I wouldn't jump necessarily to Unify because that's like, using a shotgun to kill a fly. If you're just using it just for your networking stuff, you can get away with just let me put it this way. I go with Unify if you're looking to solve a bunch of issues for long-term stuff. So yeah, you get it for your networking, but your goal is, I also want to do Wi-Fi. I also want to do door access. I want to do it, like Unify. Yes, it can solve that stuff. Personally, I don't think it's cost effective if you want to do something if it's just networking, but need a little bit more detail on what you're trying to do. Yes, you can set up a consultation with me. You just go to ajhomes.com/consultations, and that's it. Okay, and Frugal Streamer had another follow up. For reference, we have a mesh system, a 10-port PoE switch that is dedicated to Dante NDI, but both are just consumer level units, and we're getting ready to add a bunch of network. Okay, for that, yes, I would say the unified one would be able to do that, because then for your mesh network, you can get mesh system, you can get away from that and do access points that will give you more reliable, stronger Wi-Fi for that. You can get a PoE switch that will dedicate that. You can set up VLANs and everything, so you can have the Dante and the NDI on a separate network away from everybody else, as well as security cameras. So yes, I think in that case, yes, Unify would be the Ubiquity Unify line would be very good to help you in that area. And while I'm doing this, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way you get notified when we come out with new videos to help you modernize your media ministry. Again, it is completely free, but it makes a whole world of difference with the landscape of stuff that changes in YouTube. And I'm going to talk about that here after I answer about 3 questions. Then I'm going to go with that. How would you recommend audio mixing a stream? We currently use an iPad using a dedicated stream bus off of our wing. In a room, we sound great, but the stream sounds mediocre. We are mixing in the room. Okay, but my thing is, how are you listening to the stream? Because yes, you can mix with the iPad, but how are you hearing the dedicated audio that's going to the stream? Because if it's on a separate mix, if you're mixing for the house, that's not going to translate. That's going to your live stream. How I have it at Antioch and the other places where I'm at, I have headphones plugged. Like at Antioch, they have an old ATEM Television Studio HD that has a headphone jack in there, and our mix bus is plugged directly into that. So somebody has over-the-ear or in-ear monitors plugged directly into the ATEM, so we're hearing nothing but the live stream mix. It is isolated, so you can't hear the house coming in that messes up that mix. And I adjust and mix for the live stream that way. Now, everybody don't do that when they're up there. That's why. Let me see. I'm trying. I'm not trying to be petty. I'm just trying to be real. It's like we'll talk about that in the next one question. We'll talk about that. But that's how I do it. So let me know, how are you hearing the mix that's coming there, and then we can do that. I've been leaving the computers on so that I can remote in to work on ProPresenter, because everything doesn't always transfer from my computer. Is that okay? How do I make sure they stay healthy? I mean, for most computers, I'll keep mine on all the time. There's really no moving parts except for the fan. So honestly, I recommend keeping the computers on the entire time. Now, if you really have an issue, I did this a long time ago, and I might need to do this again. I have my computer, well, the computers at Antioch and the ones here, I have on a smart switch, so I can turn it on and off. Inside the BIOS of my computer, I have it set that when power is lost, what's the state of the computer? I always have it say, when power loss is restored, restart the computer. So I can turn my computer off, and if I need to remote in, I just flip that smart switch. It toggles the power off and back on my computer, which forces the computer to turn itself on. I do that. So if you need to turn them off, I would have something in that place, and you can get one of these smart adapters, like one of these smart plugs, just one of them. I mean, you can get a pack of 4 of these for like $20. So, I mean, I use that for the Christmas tree and lights and other stuff. Like, I have one in my server closet over here where I have it tied to my PoE switch. So when I flip everything on, it turns my PoE stuff on in there. Works the exact same way with your computer. So if you want to leave them off. Now, I leave them on the entire time so it can do updates. But with all the stupid updates that Microsoft has been pushing out that has been breaking computers and stuff like that, I've actually turned my updates off. But in a perfect world, when people weren't trying to cram AI down your throat for stuff that nobody wants, I would do it that way. But there is no harm in that. Again, I keep getting questions from you, from whoever's sending this. You're not showing up in my feed, so I am not answering your question. I'm gonna circle back on that because it's gonna be very, very much simplified. The conference that we're gonna be doing is gonna almost be like originally how we did it. It was gonna be just people gonna be doing discussions, and they're gonna be back to back. So we'll be recording everything, but it won't be separate classrooms. It would just be there. So the assistance would be if anybody had any like streaming stuff. But I don't know when it comes from a classroom standpoint how we're going to do it with Zoom, because it's going to be just people joining Zoom. We pin whoever's going to be talking that time. They do what they need to do and back. So, but I will circle back. You should not need to sign back up again. Well, actually, you're going to have to sign up again, because I think when we do it, I think the ticket is going to be like $10. So you would need to sign up for that so that I can add everybody's email, because this Zoom is going to be the only way you can get in is if you are registered with your email. But I will circle back with you. Come on now. Come on. Update. Why is stuff acting up? See, I don't know what in the world is going on. This is actually Creator for Fun who sent that, but it's holding over other people's images. Creator for Fun, thanks for joining. I have no idea why this stuff is, like, everything is just acting up all of a sudden. We listen via the ATEM as well. The function of the Wing app does it like we need to differentiate the room in the stream. I feel like we may be missing something. I mean, the Wing should have a component to where you can use an app to integrate with it, just like the other Behringer ones. I thought. I'm in the process of building out I put in an estimate for another church that I'm working on. Hold on. What? Location blocked. I know it seems small, folks, but I mean, this, like, when you're constantly just getting just stuff at you, even the little stuff, it gets annoying. And I try to hold my peace a lot of times. And I know you're probably like, AJ, that's all it is. If you only knew how much other stuff is just going, just this little stuff, it adds up. That's the nicest way I can say it. But anyway, I thought in here, yeah, they have the Wing edit. So let me see. Let me download this. So this is the same way how I interact with mine. And I have no idea. Like, Chrome did an update. It's been acting up. The Unified UDM Pro did an update. It's like breaking my connections and stuff like that. I mean, it's like everything has been acting up recently. So let me open this app. Come on now. All right. So this is the Wings app, which is the version of the same thing with the X32. So yeah, this would still work. If you this is how I would do it. So, like, say your mix bus is 2, and I don't know where the size of this. Normally you can change the size. Oh, there it is, resize. So normally I would have this app connected to my mixer, and say I go in here and I go to mix bus number 2, and then now I'm listening on the ATEM, and now I'm doing the faders, but the EQ is always going to be separate. But you could do it this way, and now you're hearing that mix, and you're mixing right here through the app. At least that's how I do it. It makes it easier from inside of the computer. But let me know if I'm missing something. See, I'm gonna do this because this is really getting annoying right now. I'm gonna show this comment, and I'm trying to tell you your stuff is not showing up. I have no idea how in the world you're coming through in here. All right. So this was a question. I have no idea what your name is. You're not showing up in the stream at all, and you keep sending the questions over and over again. So, AJ, please, if the church's Facebook and Instagram pages are hacked, all efforts to get Meta are unsuccessful for their default online, shake the phone and place a report. How can I get to them? I don't know. If you've gone directly to Facebook and Instagram and the stuff is hacked and whoever changed anything, make a new one. I mean, I'm sorry. That's I like my aunt who passed a while ago, somebody hacked her account. They made her send her ID, a bill showing who she was, and they still never gave it back to her. That's the thing. The Facebooks, the YouTubes, they're so big, they're impersonal. You can't talk to anybody. Half of them act like a bunch of idiots because they don't want to. It's like it's too hard for them to have any type of customer service. So they just resort to AI and all this other stuff answering their questions, and it's impersonal. It is not really answering your question. So the true answer is it ain't going to work. If you can't get them to do it through their processes, you can't reach to anybody, nobody's responding, just make a new one, make a more secure password. Don't make it so simple. Have multiple people be admins to the page instead of one person. I did that over a video where I said where every church needs a Google account. Follow that process. Other than that, I don't know. Again, I have no idea how any of your comments are coming through, but that's the only time I'm going to respond to your comment. All right. Again, not trying to be a jerk. It's just too much stuff out here. People exploiting stuff, hacking this, doing this. And if I don't see you on YouTube, I have no idea how you're coming through. So that's suspect to me. So call me a jerk. I don't really care. But it's just kind of hard to balance all this other stuff. And see what's real and not. All right. Is there a way to get Windows 11 on older computers? Yes, I have a video that goes over that. But when Microsoft has been changing a whole lot of stuff. So I don't know. Like, honestly, this system behind me is a Ryzen 3 3200G. It's more than fast enough, but when I try and install Windows 11 on it, it chokes for whatever reason. And it doesn't give me any reason. It just won't complete the install. I have no idea. We haven't set a date yet. It's going to be in October, and it's going to be Zoom completely. Let me see. I believe we can use your normal streaming setup for personal streaming on YouTube as well, right? Not only for church. Yes, it can be streamed for anywhere. So it's not particular. Granted, I only focus on churches, but this is the same equipment that I used when I was streaming my PlayStation stuff downstairs, when I was playing games on my PC. Yes, that it will stream whatever that you got. Back to Frugal Streamer. Matrix instead of bus for unless so you can add additional compression. I mean, yeah, that would work. But the same way, I have to think about that. Yes, that would give you those other features, but I had to think about the best way to manage that. You said it, not me. Dude, I've been on the PS5 for I don't know how long, and it ain't helping. I promise you. I've tried everything. Recently, I'm having a GTX. There's no such thing as a GTX 240. Normally, the GTX starts at a 50 series. Yeah, that's a GT 240, not a GTX. The X correlates to an encoder that's built in, and that's not in the any model unit under 50 does not have that encoder on there. But anyway, how can I test the graphics card to see whether it's working or not? I mean, wait a minute. You have a GT 240 from an older PC. How can I test the graphics card to see whether it's working or not? I mean, just put it in the system, and do you get a monitor? Because that's all you would do. I mean, you could always download some 3D benchmark or 3D mark or something like that if you want to test the GPU. But I mean, that's the only thing you would need to do. We use the app, but the EQ, excuse me, the EQ is affecting in room and not unique to the stream. Yeah, if you're using I don't think you could EQ it separately like that. The only way you could EQ something, if you want the EQ to be completely different, would be that you need, I mean, unless I'm wrong, you would need to have another mixer so that you can do that. So like there's a church up in that I'm waiting on to see if I have actually got to go up there and do the project. But they were insistent that they wanted another mixer so that they can do a completely different EQ than the EQ that's in the house. That's the only thing that I know of. Yeah. So that's the only thing. I don't think that's possible unless you have a separate mixer. But again, I could be wrong. Frugal Streamer, our church page was banned for someone reporting us showing children being baptized. The AI shut the page down and there's nothing we could do. Made a new page and kept photos off the page. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like these super smart, intelligent, stupid people are relying on AI, and AI is not always right. That's the thing. Like, I try not to get mad about the stuff because I mean it's just sometimes it's just like feels so powerless to do anything because people just don't want to engage their brain and think for a half a daggone second. And I'm like, calm down, AJ. You can only change processing on the bus, not input. All right, gotcha. Because the old motherboard spoiled, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I would say is just take the card out and put it in another system. That's it. Hey, I appreciate it. I mean, my whole thing, folks, is like, the thing that just gets me, and let me get on my one step soapbox. The reason I did this channel in the first place is because people used to pay gate how to do stuff. I started doing that stuff, and some people, and honestly, I'll be candid with you. A lot of times people tell me that I'm stupid for giving this information away. And sometimes I feel that way because I sit back and I see that, oh, I'm charging somebody $150 for me to drive 5 hours to help them out. You got an issue with me paying you $150, but you paid somebody else $5,000 and you have no issue with that. But they don't try to help you. I'm trying to teach you to empower you how to learn this stuff. That's where this channel came from. And then it comes back from an encouraging standpoint that I was just sitting here writing the other day. It's like I get, how can I say this? how can I say this without opening the door for people to actually call me for something I don't, honestly, I don't really care. The reason why I started off saying what I said in this call on in this live stream and the reason I want to push encouragement, because honestly, I don't get people to call me. People call me when they're like, AJ, we need you to do something. No one calls to see how you're doing. Now, again, I'm not trying to say nothing, Pastor Rob, the West. I'm thankful for them. I'm saying about the sphere of people outside of this. If I never did the YouTube stuff, I don't have anybody that calls me to see how I'm doing. I have people that ask me, "Can you do this? Can you play here? Can you make this video? Can you do?" No one calls for me. They call for what me can do. My skills, as in I'm a tool. I don't I know how that feels because I deal with that. That's why I don't want to portray that to y'all. That's why whether it's you calling asking for, hey, AJ, I got a question about this. That's why I'm doing this. Or it might be like, hey, I'm having an issue personally. You've seen this. We will stop and pray for you and be over there because it's about being there. My whole goal is to try and be there for people as best as I can when I didn't get that. I want to be as best as I can and fill an area that was never filled for me. Because how do we make this world better? How do we make the city, our church, our life existence better? Instead of complaining about what we didn't have, be an instrument of change to try and make a change. When I saw people putting all this information on YouTube and charging people astronomical prices or telling them that this is the only way something can be done when that's a flat out lie, I put that in here to show like, no, I'm not getting nothing out of this except for I just want to give you an alternative to fix your issue. Like I think the other day I was in Staples trying to pick up a keyboard for this project that I'm working on. And I heard there was a lady there talking. Okay, Google Photos is not working. It's saying my internet's not working. What in? Anyway, I was at Staples and she was sitting beside the tech booth and was asking some questions about her computer not working and stuff like that. And the guy was just saying, oh, I would charge you this, this, and this, and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, no. And then when I walked around the corner, I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to get in your business, but it sounds like you have some malware on your computer that's blocking your internet. Something's on your computer. Go on a separate computer, get a thumb drive, download Malwarebytes, and do this, this, and this to get your stuff fixed. Here's my card if you ever need anything. I mean, that's just my nature, and I don't know. I'm getting infuriated because it seems like so much stuff is like breaking around here. I can't get into my Google account. See, this is why I don't like responding to messages, because now all of a sudden all of my Google stuff is not working. Anyway, let me answer y'all's questions and then go from there. Enjoyed the Backpack Studio video. If I use an A10 Mini Pro, what other items would you need? Honestly, no. That would be all that you would need. I don't know if something is trying to attack my network or something like that, because now it's saying my Wi-Fi is offline. Everything is just. It's been exciting to see you post the daily Bible reads, pushing towards creating joy daily. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't. Look, I don't know what's going on. I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to name call, but them geniuses that are next door that are like building the houses and stuff like that, it wouldn't be surprised me if they didn't cut the daggone line or something. But I'm gonna try and press through as much as I can with this. Yeah, that might be a part of it. Um, hey, I appreciate it. Anthony, if you only knew, I'm gonna send you a message when this is done. Um, Rhonda, when I get a checking on you call, I'm surprised. I'm trying to do better and out and checking on others. Yeah, that's all we can do. We got to be the instrument of change. We can't expect everybody to change. We have to change ourselves. Um, what is a reliable wireless mic to connect to an Android phone? One of our pastors wants to do Bible class with a clear audio. The DJI Mini Mic Mini can connect to an Android phone, and it's going for $80. If you get the 2-unit one, if you get one less than that, I think it's even lower than that. All right, folks. I'm. Anyway, I'll try and be back. I don't know what in the world's going on. It's just ticking me off with all this other stuff that's obviously outside of my control. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sticking with me and all my foolishness. Y'all have a good one, folks, and make sure you got the notifications on. That way, if I'm able to get back up and streaming, y'all see it. So, thank y'all. We'll see y'all later.